Hey, what's up everyone? Sorry about the shortage of videos, but I'm glad to be back and welcome back to the College Hoops 2K Legacy Mode series featuring the legendary Coach Carter. Season 5 in UT Martin is wrapping up with UT Martin in the driver's seat of the Ohio Valley Conference. In fact, the Skyhawks can clinch the #1 seed in the postseason tournament if they win 3 more games here today, as they sit at a sparkling 12-2 in league play thus far. And luckily for us, the schedule eases up for the most part, with 3 upcoming games against the weaker half of the Ohio Valley Conference. So if we handle our business through simulation, we can hop into our senior day with no drama and have a fun send-off in front of our home fans for our 3 graduating players. And against Jacksonville State, who is a fringe playoff team, we take care of business on the road in a very good performance on the bench in that game. Moving on to Eastern Illinois, who unfortunately is one of the weaker teams in the conference once again. Jacques Diggs leads us with 15, Chris Fay 15-9, and Teron Gardner, who I believe has been the X factor for us this season, had 10 rebounds off the bench in that one. And then we hang 88 points on Southeast Missouri. It always seems to be a shootout when these guys come to town. 24 for Diggs, 28 for Fay, as he flirts with a career high of 29 he had back in the sophomore year, as he is one of the 3 graduating seniors I talked about briefly. He, once again, is continuing to come into his own near the end of his senior year. 15-2 in the conference, so no drama on senior day. We can take care of business, and with the skill gap being so big between Tennessee Martin this season and their opponents within the conference, we take on Tennessee Tech, who is number 2 in the Ohio Valley Conference on senior day. So we're really going to have a good look and see just how talented UT Martin is when compared to their opponents. Nice dish there from Jacques Diggs, wrapping that pass around a Tennessee Tech defender for Chris Fay's first basket, as those are the 2 top scorers on the team. Fay and Diggs linking up for a basket to begin this game. And now nice stops on defense lead to a Luke Lawton 3-point attempt. And that one is knocked down without much hesitation. Luke Lawton up above 40% from 3, really coming to his own from beyond the arc in his senior year, as Fay, Lawton, and Pierre Hamilton are the 3 seniors that will be playing their last home game in front of these fans, as now Hamilton gets on the board. What a fast break run there, already a 10-point differential between the Skyhawks and the Golden Eagles. With the way UT Martin is playing today against the team who's second in the conference, there really is no excuses this year. This is championship or bust, as Fay, wow, so aggressive there on the take. Nice entry pass by Evan Schneiderman, as Fay is up to 8 points in his last game at home, donning the black and orange jerseys for UT Martin, and Fay knocks it through as he averages 14 points, 6.5 rebounds, as he's really coming to his own. And now Hamilton, he stays after it on the press, and that leads to a Evan Schneiderman 3-point attempt, which is knocked through, 37-24. Chris Fay is sneaking up on Jacques Diggs of being the team's leading scorer, as Diggs averages 16, but he'll look for Luke Lawton to try to knock down his second 3-pointer of the first half of action, and he does. All smiles all around for the UT Martin faithful, fans, the players, and Coach Carter himself. He's enjoying the action. Let's hop to the second half now. 54-37. This game well in control. It's very impressive, the performance we're seeing today, as Teron Gardner and some other bench players check in. Rashawn Martin so quick up the other way, and with the seniors having such great days today, don't forget about this talented second unit, as Rashawn Martin, the true freshman, goes coast to coast there and tries to set up his freshman counterpartner in the backcourt. This is Dusty Harrison. Bounce pass inside to Dominic Cleveland. Count the basket. Cleveland with a layup there, and he actually came in the same recruiting class as Fay and Lawton, but he is not a senior this year, as he was redshirted a year. It's actually Pierre Hamilton who's the 3rd senior, as Pierre came in as a junior college transfer, a sophomore, so he has found himself playing his last college game in front of these home fans. But we'll cut now to Evan Schneiderman, who has put the team on his back. 11 points here in the second half for a guy who only averages 2.5 for his career, points per game wise. And we had the 3 seniors check back in here down in the later stages of this ball game, the twilight if you will, and now Chris Fay will step up to the line after a reach-in call in the post. And Chris Fay, who averages above 10 points per game in his career, who highlighted the first ever recruiting class for Coach Carter, will knock down his last 2 points in a UT Martin jersey with those 2 free throws. A very impressive career for the native out of Senegal, Africa. And now look at Luke Lawton with this spin move on that Tennessee Tech defender. Takes on 4 Tennessee Tech players, and he will knock through the layup. So now the New Zealand native Luke Lawton will knock down his last basket in his Tennessee Martin career. The fans are on their feet enjoying the performance today. A 20-point victory as the final buzzer rings out. We send off these seniors in an emphatic win over the second-ranked team in the conference. Wow. What a performance, which will lead us some momentum, I'm sure, into the postseason, which we will be getting into in the very next game. Luke Lawton with 15, Chris Fay with 18, and Pierre Hamilton also chipped in 7 with 3 steals. All 3 seniors playing the part in a dominating win, as we took over this game pretty early. And how about Evan Schneiderman, this sophomore, with 11? Very impressive performance, as he was the main scorer in the second half, surprisingly. So 2 more wins as UT Martin makes it a pretty lengthy winning streak to end off Season 5's regular season. Diggs with 18 in this one, and Chris Fay continues to turn heads, 17 and 15. Wow. 6.5 rebounds averaged, and Blaine Fry also had 11 and 9. And how about Teron Gardner with 12 and 5? The Bigs playing out of their mind in that game. And then a 10-point win against Tennessee State, who is a playoff team. And we make it look pretty easy as we outscore them 46-30. Another very impressive first half performance. And that's something I think UT Martin has changed a little bit here in year 5. I remember in the first couple seasons, they were always a second half team, had to play from behind a lot, but instead they're changing the focus to really getting out and getting good starts, which is really turning into a lot of W's. Now we look at the playoff bracket. Of course, the #1 overall seed, UT Martin, 18-2 in the conference, one of the best seasons, not only from UT Martin, well, the best season in their school's history, but the best season arguably in the entire Ohio Valley Conference history, as we just knocked off Tennessee State in the final game of the regular season, and now we face them twice in a row. All favorites won in the first round game. We had the 4th seed win, Murray State. And in the bottom of the bracket, we had the 3 seed Tennessee Tech Golden Eagles win a game, and Eastern Kentucky, who jumped the Golden Eagles with our win against them in the last game. So all the favorites won in round 1. Let's not be the only team who gets upset in the first round. But as we've seen in the past, the Ohio Valley is very competitive come tournament time. Not a lot of teams like to go home early, so just because they're the 8th seed does not mean that we can take them lightly. 23-5 on the year. The Tigers come in at 11-15. We've had a couple of tangos with the Tigers in postseason play, and this one might be the last one. I mean, with Coach Carter doing this well in the last couple years here at UT Martin, a switch in school is a better job may not be too far off. But for now, we're focused on this season with UT Martin trying to win Coach Carter's 2nd ever Ohio Valley Conference crown in his 5-year stint with the Skyhawks of UT Martin. And postseason basketball is underway, folks. The first possession for UT Martin after relinquishing a basket will go through Jock Diggs, taking on 2 Tigers defenders, and we're on the board. Tennessee State's a team I'm surprised they didn't finish higher in the Ohio Valley. They create a lot of different matchup problems with their work inside as they start this game off with 2 baskets in the low post. Both are made by Grant Logsdon, who has a quick 4 points, and he tries to assist to Sheldon Sampson. No good there from beyond the arc. UT Martin with their first lead of the game, trying to look in transition. Diggs stops and pops. Nice pass there by Luke Lawton. As Tennessee State actually has 8 players above 6'6". They like to rotate their lineups around a lot. They are so flexible, so many players that they can tag in, as there's Sheldon Sampson not messing up this attempt from 3. As it's an 11-7 game now, letting another one go. This one's off the mark. 5 minutes into the first round of the conference tournament, Diggs throws up the pump, gets past his first initial defender, and finishes above the tall trees inside. 7 points for Jacques Diggs. 17-15 game as we see some subs check in now. Coming off a curl screen is Drake McMillan, who feeds Terry Roberts from the left elbow. Drake McMillan is a 7-footer, one of 2 that the Tennessee State Tigers have. And we were actually recruiting him back in season 1, but instead we went after a different 7-footer named Dominique Cleveland, and I think it's fair to say we made the right choice in that endeavor. Now Harrison, he will step in and knock down a 3 to break the tie at 17. Been a while since we've seen that play run. That was a money play for Coach Carter here for a long time. And here's what I'm talking about. A lot of different matchup problems they can create. Alan Lake checks in, who's a point forward. Kind of reminds me of a Ben Simmons type of role as he plays on this team. A nice little, spin move in the post around the 5'9" Rashawn Martin. Alan Lake, another player above 6'6" on this team. And Rashawn Martin can't do anything. So 20-19 now, the height really playing a factor in this ball game. This one swings around to Dusty Harrison as he tries to create some space for Dominique Cleveland in the 1-3-1 zone, and he does do that to perfection. Nice pass inside there by Dusty Harrison as the freshman averages 5 on his freshman campaign. 22-19, 4 minutes to go in the first half of action as Jock Diggs comes behind Graham Logsdon and pokes it loose. Harrison throws up the floater, and with a friendly bounce, some fast break points for UT Martin as Dusty Harrison reaches his season average, already 5 points off the bench in the first half of action. We got 3 to go, 3-point game as Terry Logsdon wants to break the lead now a little bit down to size, only a 1-point game. The 8th-seeded Tennessee State Tigers not making it easy for the heavy favorites in the Ohio Valley this season, as Schneiderman feeds this to the low post, or the short corner rather. There's Jock Diggs finding some space. He's got 9 now, continuing with this full court press, but not netting much results. So once again, Tennessee State doing a good job protecting the ball, but Dominique Cleveland sends back. That is Tyler Cross having a shot rejected, and we run the break to perfection. How about Pierre Hamilton, who actually is top 5 in the conference in assists per game? He feeds another one to Blaine Fry as Hamilton 5 points, 4 assists, 1.5 turnovers, so a very good assist to turnover ratio for the senior point guard. 30-25, that one's now deflected by Pierre Hamilton, going the other way. Diggs stops and pops, just kidding, he will feed this one inside to Luke Lawton. What a deceptive pass, one of the best we've seen from any UT Martin player this season. Wow, what an assist from Jock Diggs. A guy who's flirting with being one of the top scorers in the conference, but you can't forget that we originally recruited him to play point guard, but he slid over to the 2. That doesn't mean he can't share the ball a little bit here and there. Just a hair under 3 assists per game for Jock Diggs, as Lawton and Diggs doing a little celebration here at the end of the first half. 35-27, finally some breathing room for UT Martin and company. And as we take a look at the team stats, pretty even across the board, as Diggs with that beautiful pass at the end of the half, giving him 2 assists along with being the game's top scorer. Let's hop into the second half of action. No questions asked, no time wasted. We got to see if we're going to be playing in the semifinals. So 35-29, what addition side from Terry Roberts as the Tennessee State Tigers continue to facilitate the ball at a very high level. And even though Chris Fay has become a superstar here at the end of his senior year, that is definitely has been his weakest part of his game, is off-ball defense. He struggles with finding positioning inside the post, on defense at least. On offense though, no trouble there, as look at him on the glass, relentless in his pursuit for the basketball as he makes up for letting up that 3-point play to Tyler Cross. 8 points for Chris Fay. 37-32 now. We haven't seen much perimeter game from the Tennessee State Tigers. They've been really pushing it down low in the post, but here we go with Adrian August stepping out. Only 3 points for the senior, but August, the second leading scorer on the team, he steps out with a foot on the line and knocks one down. It's still a 6-point game though, we're still in control. However, the Tigers are showing that they aren't going to go anywhere with Terry Roberts stepping up right in the face of Pierre Hamilton. 7 for the junior 2-guard. 45-40, as Roberts with 8 points on the season average. He's up to his season average on the game, and here comes another 7-footer to do some damage inside the painted area. Henry Yamamoto, he is a Japanese big fella, a 7-footer. He's one of 2 on the ball club, and it's 47-46. 5.5 to go, and now this is trimmed down to a 1-point game. On upset alert is UT Martin, as the entire Ohio Valley is watching right now to see if the 18-2 Tennessee Martin Skyhawks will waver here in the Ohio Valley Conference Tournament. Going back and forth, it's Teron Gardner on one end And then the nice assist from Axton, the 2-guard off the bench, will feed Drake McMillan for points 5 and 6 for the 7-footer. Dusty Harrison, though, will give it right back to Teron Gardner, fearless on that take. He wants to take no for an answer. He won't take no for an answer, I should say, is Teron Gardner with 6 off the bench, and then Chris Fay comes flying out of nowhere. A block a game average for the senior on top of everything that he's been doing on the offensive end. Such a valuable player as Hamilton will look cross court to try to extend this lead. But Hamilton, no good there from 3. Grant Logsdon will lead the break for the Tigers, and another basket is put down by the junior, Grant Logsdon, with another basket. Once again, another player who just has so much height and so much physicality on this team, as Diggs off the V-cut will flare open. And that one is knocked down. A huge shot for Jacques Diggs. Just got his feet behind the 3-point line, back up to a 4-point ball game. 3 minutes now approaching quickly. Here we go, Tennessee State. Will they hang around for the entirety of this game? As looking at this play, it's Terry Roberts again. His second huge, impactful 3-pointer down the stretch. In the twilight of this ball game, 2:13 left to go after a stop by the Tigers. It's Adrian August feeding this one to Sheldon Sampson. As we catch a break, Sampson has 2 threes on the game. Can't knock one down there. Bounce pass on the break. A very risky pass, but whenever you got players that play at a level like Jacques Diggs, you get a little luck on your side more often than not. 1:48 left in the ball game. Back to this 1-3-1 zone for the Tigers. Hamilton at the controls gives it to Diggs. As Diggs finds a lane, passes it out to Luke Lawton for the dagger. He puts it through. Luke Lawton, who has some trouble with his threes down the stretch here. That's only his first make in 5 attempts, but the most exploitable part in a 1-3-1 zone is the deep corner. And very high IQ play there by Jacques Diggs, finding Lawton so he can knock one down. As UT Martin, they had to hold their breath there for a while, but Tennessee State gives them a run for their money. At the end of the day, though, it's an 8-point victory for UT Martin. A double-double for Chris Fay, 14 apiece for Lawton and Jacques Diggs, and Hamilton was doing a good job facilitating it all. Another borderline double-double performance for Blaine Fry, 8 and 8. Dusty Harrison with 7 points. And overall, another great team effort. Another team giving us a run for our money. It's been a while since we've had some adversity in the box score, but it's nice to see us really find our bearings there at the end of the game and silence Tennessee State. So now we'll be facing a very familiar opponent, Murray State, the 4th seed, as they came a couple points shy from losing the first round game to Southeast Missouri, as this looked like a very good ball game. I wish we could have sat in and watched it if I knew it was going to be this competitive. Nonetheless, though, I'm excited to face an old rival in Murray State. We have a very checkered past with the Racers, and what a season turnaround it was for the Racers. They started out 0-11. 11 straight losses, including their first conference game to us. We beat them pretty good on our home floor, but at the same token, it just goes to show that the games in the conference, whenever January, February come around, the games in the conference really can make your break your season. You're never out of it when it comes to college basketball. But unfortunately, Murray State will be without one of the best players in the conference, a player that has really been, a huge factor in this series for us, Sebastian Farley. I remember him. He won Freshman of the Year. He's the top-rated player in the conference. And now 4 years later, in his senior year, it gets cut short due to a broken patella. Such a tough thing to see. You may think I'm happy to not have to face Farley, which I am, but when it comes to a game like this and your heated rivals, you want both teams to be at full strength. Nonetheless, though, this is the semifinals, and the winner of this game will be taking on either Tennessee Tech or Eastern Kentucky for the conference crown. 2 more games, boys, and we could be back in March Madness, so let's get into it. We force a stop on the first possession. Hamilton, a nice touch pass to Lawton, who shakes off a couple defenders, so strong with it down low. Luke Lawton giving him the business. Already 5-3 game now as Elijah Stafford tries a 3. Lots of quick possessions for the Murray State Racers, a lot different than our last opponent. Murray State, they are very much living up to their name every time we play them. The Racers, as they race the ball up the floor. Here is Micah Foreman, a Florida State transfer, 13 points, 8 rebounds for the 6'6" two-guard, a senior, lots of experience on this Murray State team. Not too long after, though, Jacques Diggs, as he beats the press with Pierre Hamilton, and floating that one out of bounds is Foreman himself. So there's Murray State. They do play at a very high tempo, but that also revolves and turns into a lot of turnovers for the Racers, as they're top 3 in the conference in that category. But now here's Porter Todd, who stops and pops. A 6'6" point guard. Todd, a junior, averages 4 assists with 6.5 points on the season. Now checking into the game, Lamont Robinson, as some bench players come into for both sides, as that one sent back by Teron Gardner, second in the team in blocks per game, and the X Factor Gardner continues to play at a high level, as Gardner averages 7.5 points, 1 block, and 61% from the field. And there's a reason why I call him the X Factor. When he's playing so well coming off the bench, I mean, you don't see that a lot from a conference this small. As look at this take. Oh my goodness, Micah Foreman. He puts the moves on the freshman, Dusty Harrison, and then he converts a tough 3-point play over the 7'2" Cleveland. And now a 1-point lead for the Murray State Racers, as UT Martin runs with 5 bench players attacking this 2-3 zone in and out. There is Evan Schneiderman with a 3-point bomb, as he comes off his best performance in the Senior Day game at the beginning of this episode. 21-20, UT Martin out in front, 5:13 left to go, as Rashawn Martin works with Cleveland to set up a high-to-low opportunity. High-to-low post, another great way to attack a 2-3. Shot him in up to 5 points, and that would do nothing but continue to climb off of the steal on the press break. Evan Schneiderman, he fills the lane in a big way there, as Martin hands it off to him. And now Schneiderman up to 8 points. Could be if he knocks down this free throw, and he does. The sophomore, who only averages 2.5 points per game in his career, he's already got 8 in the first half. He's playing a big role to extend this lead up to 6, and then he sends back the Murray State point guard. That's Xavier Prince, who has his shot rejected, and then Schneiderman will drive the lane baseline. Another basket, 10 points for Evan Schneiderman. His career high was that 11-point performance against Tech in the first game of this episode, and he's already reaching 10 here in the first half. An unbelievable first half performance, and then Diggs gets busy with it. Wow, what a move there. The floater from the free throw line striped. 10 points for our team captain, Jacques Diggs. 34-24 now. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Devin Alati rotates it to Stafford, who has his pocket picked by who else other than Evan Schneiderman. Oh my goodness, the UT Martin faithful cannot believe their eyes. 12 first half points for the redshirt sophomore, Evan Schneiderman. And we all remember him in his freshman campaign. He looked like he didn't know where to belong on the offensive end. He received the red shirt last year, comes back, and he's looking a little bit better in the part, but this has really been his biggest explosion. This in the Tech game, unbelievable performance. 15 he would end the half with, and he would help us climb to a 15-point performance as a team, a 15-point lead against the 4th-seeded Racers, as Henry Blunt, one of many talented big men on this roster. This will rotate around to Elijah Stafford for 3. A little fist bump there with Alati. Stafford, the second best 3-point shooter on the team, right behind Micah Foreman, as Stafford shoots 37%, but not as high of a percent as Jacques Diggs. Diggs is 38%. Of course, the best 3-ball stroker on the team for UT Martin. 13-point game right now. You're really seeing Murray State miss Sebastian Farley's presence. I mean, that's 18 points and 8 rebounds rather off the board. With Sebastian Farley out of the lineup, he was potentially a Conference Player of the Year candidate. Nice pick and roll there between Hamilton and Blaine Fry, who once again, Fly flirts with a double-double, 8 points and 8 rebounds to this point. And look at this confident 3-point shot. Schneiderman, we've never seen him do that. Throwing up the pump and navigating to the corner. Still perfect from 3-point range. 18 for Schneiderman. 62-42. UT Martin putting the finishing touches on this ball game. As here's Siaka Badije, the backup point guard for the Racers, as he kicks this one over to Keaton Massey, who has his shot sent back. Gardner climbs the ladder as he now has the hat trick. 3 blocks for Gardner, and how about 10 assists for Hamilton? That's a new career high for the senior, and 20 points for Schneiderman, so a lot of milestones getting taken out of the way there on that fast break. A 22-point victory for UT Martin. They will be playing in their second Ohio Valley Conference Championship, and Coach Carter's 5-year tenure here at the reins of UT Martin, and Schneiderman receives the game ball for sure. 20 points, what an explosion for him, only 1 missed shot. Down here at the end of his sophomore campaign, you're seeing a whole different type of ball player from Evan Schneiderman. 18 for Jacques Diggs, and Hamilton did all the facilitating today. 10 assists for the senior point man, 8 and 5 for Teron Gardner, who continues to play at a sky-high level. And Schneiderman gets the game ball in a memorable performance for the redshirt sophomore. You've never seen anything like it, and I love, that's got to be one of the biggest reasons why I love these types of series, just seeing all the storylines play out, seeing guys step up and make a name for themselves, and shattering his previous career high, which he only had a couple games ago. And on the other side of things, Micah Foreman led the Racers with 16. The Florida State Seminole goes home early with his teammates. So, who will we be playing in the conference's championship game? Eastern Kentucky comes in at 17 and 15 overall, 13 and 7 in league play, and this is the team that, if you've been following this series closely, here in season 5, this has been the only team to beat UT Martin. You may be asking, well, hey, you have 2 losses on the season, UT Martin does in conference play, so how is that possible? Well, Eastern Kentucky has beaten us both times we've faced off against the Colonels. They've been one of the better teams in the conference for all 5 seasons of this series thus far, and so we may be heavy favorites record-wise and on paper, but for those who know the game of basketball, it may be a very tough outing for UT Martin. However, it is very tough to beat a team 3 times in a row in the same season. So we got things in our beneficiary, and we also have things that work against us here as Coach Carter tries to seek conference championship number 2, as this may be his last year in UT Martin with how well he's turned this program around. And he's just trying to live in the moment. He's just trying to deliver a conference championship for himself and his very loyal players. So next time you see me, we'll be jumping in to the conference championship against EKU, trying to get revenge on the Colonels who have beaten us twice in a row. Stay tuned, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.